teams trying to do the unthinkable, of course, get themselves off to a flyer up against Tunisia. Of course, I've got a Dane superfan to look forward to the games and the World Cup, and he's got all his thoughts and dreams coming at you next. That's right, folks, back again with another World Cup rivals video today. We've got the words of Denmark ringing in our ears, of course. Have they actually got a hope in hell of winning the trophy, of course? All the hopes are pointing to them as one of the dark horses in this year's World Cup. We'll take a look at all of it in a second. Of course, big shout out to my VIPs. They are the patrons, of course. And if you're new, where you been, smash your subscribe button back with all things Denmark football related, Baba Rose related, World Cup related. We're going to know here, boys. Under one Ruski, of course, they're tipped to go quite far, if not all the bloody way. Denmark are everybody's dark horses, second team, as of course the World Cup is about to kick off. I've got Mikael here with us to talk all things Denmark. Now, of course, for my small corner of the YouTube universe, tell them a little bit about yourself, where you're calling us from, and what is cool about Denmark.
Well, my name is Michael Vandel. I'm 45 years old, and I'm living in the suburbs of Copenhagen. And crazy info about me, I'm from Sweden.
Ooh, look at that. That is controversial. Now, of course, Denmark will kick off their campaign up against Tunisia, who are a tricky team to kind of suss out, really. No one knows too much about them. But what are your expectations for the tournament for Denmark and, of course, in particular focus for this first game against Tunisia?
Opening game is always tough in some perspective. But I would say the momentum we have at this moment, I would think we have a great team. We do not have a big star in necessary, but I think we have a good team. And a team there's no I in team. That means everybody works for each other. And I have a good feeling about the opening match, of course, but also in the group totally. And I've, of course, seen people saying, oh, Denmark is a dark horse. I would say we would be a dark horse and maybe also a contender for the World Cup, I would say.
Now, as I said, of course, Denmark are tipped to go quite far here. But again, from your point of view, just how far can this Danish team actually go?
I would say we could go all the way, but it depends if we go 1 or 2 in the group. If we go number 2, we're probably going to meet Argentina in the next round. And that can also be a tough game, but I think we can beat everybody at the moment. We just beat France 2 times in a row, 2-1 away and 2-0 in Copenhagen. So everything is possible. And I think when Denmark is playing good is when teams or the opponent is underestimating us. And I think everybody has a respect of Denmark, but it's Denmark, okay? And we are Argentina, if you're taking that away. I think we have a realistic chance to go through every team when I see the lineup to the final.
Now, of course, a lot of the focus for this World Cup and Denmark will be on Christian Eriksen. But let's just put him to one side for just a second. Who else in that Danish squad is going to get us off our seat with excitement?
Of course, I had also Christian Eriksen, but it's obvious. But I think a guy called Jesper Lindstrøm, who's playing in Eintracht Frankfurt. He's very well playing at this moment. He's offensive. He can shoot with both right and left leg. He's fast. He has a good eye for the play as Christian Eriksen, but he's young. But I wouldn't say he would start in on Tuesday probably. But I think during the course, of course, then I would say he can go in and have a influence in on the matches. Then, of course, there is Damsgaard. Everybody knows him from the Euros. But the one big one at this moment, I think, that is Andreas Skov Olsen. He's firing the league up in Belgium with Club Brugge. And he's playing very well this moment. I think also he was top scorer, as I recall it, in the qualification with Joachim Mæhle. But I think we have 5-6 prospects, I would say, could burn off this tournament.
Now, of course, your position for this opening game is Tunisia. We don't know too much about them, to be honest with you, completely honest. So with your knowledge on the Danish game and maybe even world football as itself, what are your what concerns you the most about Denmark? I mean, not Denmark, about Tunisia. What am I talking about Tunisia?
My concern is that I don't think anybody in Denmark knows anything about them. That is probably the big issue here, in my opinion. But we have a coach which is a world-class coach. I think he has scouted this team very well. And I think the mentality in the team is also we don't underestimate anybody. We have a collective, we have a team, we have a mission, and that is the way we're going. And I would say only issue is I do not know anything about Tunisia. So yeah, it could go AWOL. It could be a success.
Now, of course, let's just say create a little balmy scenario where you are the manager for Denmark in their opening game at Qatar 2022. Give me your 11 from the goalkeeper all the way through to the forwards.
Well, as I do not know anything about Tunisia, I have 2 setups. And I will go with the one I think he will go with. That is a 4-3-3 setup. And of course, Kasper Schmeichel as keeper. Everybody knows him, what he's capable of. And then on right back, Rasmus Christensen, who is playing at Leeds United. I think he's playing all games all the season until now. And then we have Simon Kjær from AC Milan, captain, a very big star. He started playing when he was 18 years old at the national team, I think it was, when he went to Palermo. And his stature, his influence on the team is so important. And I think it is the heartbeat, if you have to say it in that terms, in the team. Steady, cool, and that's also the reason why I think the Danish team is confident. When he's confident, the team is confident. Then we have Andreas Christensen, fullback, playing with Simon Kjær. He's playing in Barcelona at this moment. Everybody knows him from Chelsea and what he's capable of when he's on top. And left back, Joachim Mæhle. He was, star in the Euros. And he's running up and down the side. He's probably going to be more defensive here in the 4-3-3 system. But if we were playing 3-5-2, then we'll have a fullback running up and down, and that could also be a system we can use. But I think we'll go for this. In midfield, I'll go for Jesper Lindstrøm. I know what I said before, but I think he will be another player they don't know, but he's so mobile. So I think they can't get him. That is, I do not have any reason, but I think our midfield should be more capable to do Tunisia than we. Then we have Pierre-Emil Højbjerg, a big star, big influence player in Tottenham, and he has been absolute superb this season in the Premier League. I think I can't remember seeing him playing that well in recent years. He's very good at this moment. Then, of course, Christian Eriksen. He's coming back from heart attack. Everybody in Denmark thought he was finished, I had to say. And the Denmark, I can't recall what I said to my wife when I saw him collapsing on the field. I saw his eye went up, and I said to my wife, he's dead. Everybody was shocked. Denmark just 2 days, nobody talked about anything, just staring out in the eye. And now he's coming back, and he's playing better than ever, I would say. And you can see that when he's playing for Man United also. I think he's just enjoying his life at this moment. He's enjoying his game, and that could be the big factor, in my opinion, here. Up front, Andreas Skov Olsen on the right side. He's hot. He's running and scoring incredible goals in the Belgium league and also for the national team. Then on the left side, I have picked Mikkel Damsgaard. I know he hadn't played that much in Brentford, but when he's playing for the national team, he's confident. He knows the game. He knows the setup, and the intuition he has with the other players. That is second to none, I would say. On top, I was drifting between 3 guys, and I landed on my own favorite, Kasper Dolberg. I know he's not playing that well for Sevilla, but when he also comes to the national team, he knows the setup. He knows where to be. He's a very He's, in my opinion, an old school box player. He can be away for 50 minutes, 80 minutes. You haven't seen anything, and suddenly, boom, he's just there and scores the most important goal ever, as you could see against Wales in the Euros, where he scored a terrific goal for 30 meters out of the goal or something like that. And when they didn't clear the ball, well, you just scored again. And he scored against France here 2 months ago, and perfect crossing and just were tapping in. And that's a box player he has to be. And I think when we're playing a defensive team, I guess Tunisia is going to be standing back at the field. He has to be there. And I think that's it could also be Martin Bradway, but I'm going for Dolberg.
So there will be another game going on in your group at the same time. It will be France up against the Australians. Now, with your qualification and your focus for the Danes, of course, what do you want to happen in that game? But most importantly, what do you think will happen in that game?
I would guess, as I say, it will be a disaster for France if they lose in that game. A dream scenario, of course, they will lose, but I would go for a draw. But I think even though they're missing a lot of players now, France, they should have the class to win 2-3-0 against an Australia team, which is not that strong as it was last time. In my opinion.
Now here it is, the all-important money question. What's the final score going to be in Denmark's opening match up against Tunisia at this year's World Cup?
I agree. I went with a big win there. Okay, but if I was to push you for a score for this game, Denmark-Tunisia, what's your money on?
I will go for 3-0 win.
Nice.
We are in the last 2 years, 3 years, we have when we're winning, we're not just winning 1-0. We're scoring 5 or 6 goals. This is a World Cup. I know they've qualified. We have to respect them, but I will also say we have a class, we have a team, and think we are a better team and should score 2 or 3 goals. I will go for 3-0.
Perfect. So that, Mikkel, I'm going to...
Thanks again, Mikkel, for giving up a bit of your time. Of course, talk all things Denmark. I look forward to chatting with you periodically as we check in with you within Denmark's journey to maybe a long-lasting World Cup in Qatar, of course. Let me know your thoughts and opinions about the video down below. Of course, if you like Denmark and want to see them do well, smash your thumbs up. And, of course, hit the little bell if you're new. Of course, check out the links down below, Twitter, Twitch, Facebook, all that kind of stuff. And a big shout out to Mikkel once again for giving up a bit of this time. But I'll see you all, guys, very, very soon for another one. We've got non-stop content right through to the final. But until then, we're bouncing out.